You have seen the videos. A guy on a beach, laptop open, money rolling in while he does absolutely nothing. That is the dream they keep selling you. Passive income. Make money while you sleep. It is the most repeated promise in the entire money world. So let's check if it is actually true. Here is the part nobody puts in the thumbnail. Most so-called passive income is either secretly active work or it quietly demands a pile of money up front. That does not mean it is a lie. It means the word has been twisted to sell you courses. Let's separate the real engines from the empty hype. First, the data. In the United States, the median household has only a few $1,000s in liquid savings. That is the launchpad most people actually start from. Meanwhile, the income that truly looks passive is concentrated at the top. The wealthiest households earn a huge share of their money from owning things, not from working. So the honest version of the story is this. Passive income is real, but it is almost always the second step. The first step is building capital with time or with cash. To see why, you have to understand what actually makes income passive in the first place. There are really only two ingredients. Ingredient one is an asset, something you own that other people are willing to pay to use, to borrow, or to enjoy. Ingredient two is leverage. The asset has to keep paying you long after the work or the money that built it is already spent. Notice what is missing from that recipe. Nowhere does it say free, instant, or effortless. Every real asset has a price, paid in money, in time, or in skill. Let's walk through the options people actually call passive, starting with the most genuinely hands-off and ending with the traps. Option 1. Dividends. When you own a share of a company, some companies pay you a small slice of their profits just for holding the stock. This is about as passive as it gets. You buy, you hold, you get paid. But here is the reality of the math, and it is humbling. A typical broad dividend yield sits around 2 to 4% a year. To earn $1,000 a month from dividends, you would need roughly $300,000 invested. Read that again. The income is passive. The capital behind it absolutely is not. That money came from years of working and saving first. Option 2. Index funds. Instead of betting on one company, you buy a tiny slice of hundreds of them at once in a single low-cost fund. Historically, a broad stock index has returned somewhere around 7% a year after inflation, averaged over long stretches of time. This is the closest thing to a free lunch that finance offers. You are not picking winners. You are quietly owning a slice of the whole economy. But it is slow on purpose. The magic is compounding, and compounding needs two things you cannot fake: money and decades of patience. Put a few $100s in every month for 30 years, and compounding can quietly turn it into a serious number. Skip the decades and the magic never shows up. Option 3. Rental property. You buy a home or a unit, someone else lives there, and every month they hand you rent. Classic passive income, right? Sort of. Rentals can build real wealth. But ask any honest landlord and they will tell you it is a job wearing a passive costume. There are repairs at midnight, tenants who stop paying, empty months with no rent, property taxes, insurance, and a mortgage that does not care how your week went. And the entry ticket is steep. A down payment alone can run tens of thousands of dollars before you collect a single month of rent. Done well, real estate is powerful. Just call it what it is. A capital-heavy business that you actively manage, not a beach chair with a money pipe. Option 4. Royalties. You make something once, a book, a song, a photo, a piece of software, and you get paid every time someone uses it. This is the closest thing to the dream. Build it one time, earn from it for years. But notice the hidden cost buried inside that word, build. The upfront work is enormous, and most creations earn almost nothing. The income is wildly uneven. A few hits carry everything, while the rest go quiet. So royalties trade money up front for time and skill up front instead. You still pay the price. You just pay it in effort before the money ever arrives. Now let's look at the things that get marketed as passive income but are really just regular jobs in a shiny new wrapper. Dropshipping, print on demand, running an online store. These can absolutely make money, but they need constant attention, marketing, and customer service. The moment you stop working, the income usually stops too. That is not passive. That is self-employment, which is a fine thing, just not the thing being sold. Then there are the courses. The single most reliable passive income in this whole space is selling other people a course on how to make passive income. Ask one simple question. If this system prints easy money, why is the person selling it spending so much effort selling it to you? Now, the outright scams. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Anything promising guaranteed high returns with no risk is lying to you. The classic trap is the Ponzi scheme. It pays early investors using the money from new investors, not from any real profit at all. It looks unstoppable right up until new money stops flowing in. then the entire thing collapses, and the people at the bottom lose everything. Same energy lives in get-rich-quick crypto schemes, mystery trading bots, and pyramid-style sales programs dressed up as opportunity. The red flags are always the same: pressure to act now, vague explanations of how it works, and rewards for recruiting your friends. So strip away the hype, and a clear pattern appears. Real passive income is just the harvest. Somebody planted that field first. Here is what that means for you. Starting from wherever you are today, you do not need a beach or a fortune. You need one quiet engine built on purpose. Step 1. Build the capital first. Every dollar you save and invest is a tiny worker you hire who never sleeps and never quits. Step 2. Start with the boring winners. A low-cost index fund inside a retirement account is genuinely passive, and it quietly beats most clever schemes. Step 3. If you want more, accept the trade. Pay in skill up front to build something you own, a product, a property, or a piece of work that keeps paying. And step 4, the one that saves you the most. When anyone promises money with no work, no capital, and no risk, you now know exactly what you were looking at. Passive income is not a myth. It is just the second half of a story that always begins with effort. Plant first, and one day the field really does pay you back. That is exactly what we do here. We hand you the cheat sheet to the money machine. This is Brainomics.